We want to bring in a special guest now. Dr. Amy Story is with Baldwin Wallace University. She is an expert in ethics and trauma. So we're watching this unfold since yesterday, this amazing story of these women who were held captive for a decade or longer. From your point of view, what do you believe they have experienced in the last 10 years? Because it's unimaginable based on what they're talking about finding in the house.
Right. And I would hate to speculate, too specifically about what they've been through until we have more information. But certainly this is clearly a case of gender-based violence where these women, we know that the men have already been charged with rape, so we know that that was part of what was going on with these women, that they were not only experiencing being trapped in this environment, but that they were also under the threat of sexual violence, perhaps on a continual basis. We know that there was a child conceived under this situation. So, certainly a lot of their experience is going to be, I would presume, based in the sexual nature of the violence that they've experienced.
So now they are going to be making what, in spite of the fact that they seem to be very healthy, thank goodness. I mean, I think this is a relative statement because there have to be some effects of having endured this imprisonment, torture, abuse for all of these years. What is it going to take as they move forward? What do you see for them as they begin this process of healing individually and with their families?
Yeah, it's going to be very complex for these women. One of the things to think about is that they were taken at a very key moment in their lives. And
14 years old,
exactly,
16 years old.
Exactly. At a time, they've been gone during a really important developmental stage when people are discovering who they are and where they're headed in their life. And these women have been kept from making those kinds of discoveries about themselves. So part of the process that they're going to have to go through is gaining a sense of identity back. Who am I now out from this very dramatic situation? And what do I do with that? We say things like, oh, you just have to move on and forget about that. But those things, that's not how trauma works, especially when
process.
Indeed, and you never really get beyond it. It has to be something that you own, that becomes part of who you are, and then you have to figure out what it means to live with that.
What is it do you see that they're going to need?
Obviously we could say they're going to need support. The form of that support, I think, needs to be in encouraging these women to find a voice. Sometimes victims of trauma have a hard time talking about it, but in the long run, being able to claim your experience through your own language, being able to talk about that experience such that instead of it just being something that was done to you, it's something that, as painful as it is, belongs to you also. And to find the language and the people around you who will give you the time to work out that sense of self and that kind of dialogue about who you are and what you've been through.
And I think about, what was taken from all of these women in terms of the time period of their lives, but then also that in this time frame, Amanda Berry became a mother.
Indeed, a life-changing experience in and of itself. To have that experience under the threat of violence, to be worried then not only about your own ability to survive this situation, but then to feel the need to protect your child in this situation, a very challenging thing. And then to move out into the world and try to provide this child with a normal life.
Right.
Very difficult.
Well, Dr. Amy Story with Baldwin Wallace University, we really appreciate some very good insights into this kind of violence against women and what these three women now face as they take their steps forward into recovery. Thanks so much.